What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. CyHi The Prynce is signed to good music, and over the years he's quietly been one of the best artists signed to the label. He's kind of played that background role in the sense that he's put out mixtape after mixtape, and they've all been good. Like, not even good. They've been great. So I'm glad to see that 2017 is the year that CyHi really gets the chance to elevate himself with his debut album titled No Dope on Sundays. That is a great title, by the way. You have to give it up. That is a dope title. So, CyHi is making his media rounds. He's everywhere. He just killed it on Sway in the Morning. He's chopping it up with everybody and revealing all kinds of interesting tidbits. So, today's video was inspired by a post that I came across on DJ Booth. And shout out to them for transcribing this little piece. CyHi The Prynce did an interview with the Juan Epstein podcast. That's Cypher Sounds and Peter Rosenberg's podcast. It's great if you've never seen it before, or you've never listened to it before. It's a lot of gems that are dropped throughout these episodes. So CyHi appeared on there and he dropped a bombshell. He almost signed to Young Jeezy's CTE label. Now, before we even get into all the details about that, because he does give you like the full story, let me read this quote and then we'll talk about that. He said, I ended up doing a record with Yelawolf, and that record was I Wish remix featuring Pill, and they did a video. So he says, we put the video out, and yay, this was back when he had the Tumblr thing. He was looking online for inspiration for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He saw the video and was like, yo, this is the hardest shit I ever heard. Then he heard my mixtape, and that's when I got a call from No ID. They asked me to come to Hawaii. So the rest is history. He went to Hawaii. He helped on the album, which is one of Kanye's best. He also snuck a guest feature on So Appalled, and that probably is like his best, most breakout, probably most known verse in his career thus far. And like the story behind that's crazy, how he went into the studio after I think everybody left and kind of snuck a verse onto that song. Like he originally wasn't supposed to be on it. So that's bold. But I love it because CyHi was willing to take the risk and he knew that he was going to deliver something special. And so he did. Everybody came correct on So Appalled. But the fact that Kanye was just like browsing online and came across this video is crazy. Because we look at an artist like Kanye, like a Jeezy, like a Drake, and we don't think of them as using the internet like that. Like we, as like regular people, we're on the internet all the time. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on the blogs, everything. But you would think like those biggest names in hip hop, they're not sitting at a computer all the time. I mean, Kanye did it for a while, but then he kind of went mysterious and he doesn't really use the internet. The only time he really pops up nowadays is on Twitter when he has like a rant or something to say, but he hasn't said anything for a long time. But anyways, back to the topic at hand, I think it's crazy to think that Kanye was just like sitting at his computer, his laptop one day, came across this video and was like, yeah, I gotta listen to more of this guy, and then eventually signing him. Like, that gives you just a small clue as to how powerful the internet is. Because imagine how many other videos or songs that Kanye came across that day. So many other artists that didn't catch his attention, but CyHi's verse on the I Wish remix did. Enough for him to go and say, I'm about to listen to this guy's mixtape, and then to fly him out. However, this story could be vastly different. There would be no CyHi on Good Music. There would be no verse on So Appalled. There would be a lot of different changes. Whatever CyHi did on the album that, like, you know, writing-wise, it would have never happened. Potentially. Because right before he was scheduled to go to Hawaii, he was going to sign to Jeezy. He said, the week before, like 4 days before, I was supposed to sign with Jeezy. A lot of people don't know that. I flew to Miami to do the deal with Jeezy. We were in the studio for like 3 nights. And the last night, for some reason, he didn't show up and we had to leave. We never got the deal because he didn't show up. And then 3 days later, Ye called me. So as you can see, if Jeezy didn't flake on that last day, CyHi probably would have signed that deal. And we know that Jeezy's track record is not that good. Let's face it. USDA had moderate success. Freddie Gibbs, you know, we saw how that situation played out. But, like, Jeezy doesn't have, like, an artist that you can say that he put on. He's done great as a career, as a person, but he's not like a Kanye. He's not like a Rick Ross. He's not like a 50 Cent or any artist that has ever had their own label and helped to produce different artists. I think it's for the best that CyHi didn't sign to Jeezy because, like I said, the track record just isn't there. And you look at it like the journey for CyHi The Prynce has been long. Probably longer than he wanted. I'm sure he probably wanted to drop an album years ago, but I think everything's kind of aligned now. He has that fan base, and I don't know how much he's going to end up selling with No Dope on Sundays. I don't know how far the album is going to go, but I can say that as someone who is a fan of his, that I would urge everybody to listen to his music. If you're going to wait for the album, do that. If you want to dive into the mixtapes, do that. But CyHi has really built himself to this point. He's gotten better and better. Each mixtape led him down this path. And if he had signed with Jeezy, there's probably a small chance at best that he would have dropped an album. Because look at it. Freddie Gibbs didn't drop an album under Jeezy. And nobody else really did. Jeezy was not that good at producing the artists that he had underneath him. And so CyHi would have just been someone who was signed for a couple years and then realized, you know, this isn't for me. And then he would have moved on and been independent. And who knows how big he would have been. He might have just faded into obscurity. He might not have the fan base that he has now. He might not have the attention. And he might never have been able to do that on his own. And even if he signed to Jeezy and left, there's no guarantee that there's somebody out there that was like, yeah, we got to get him on the team. I'm sure at this point, Kanye would have been moved on. So it's probably for the best that CyHi signed to good music because now his album is on the way. But it was just interesting to think about how vastly different his career would have been if Jeezy would have just shown up that one day. So what do you think about this? Do you think that CyHi The Prynce could have been successful in any degree under Jeezy? Or do you feel like he just made the right decision by going to good music? And are you a fan? Obviously, I think if you're watching this video, you care to some degree. But are you a fan? Are you going to check out his debut album? I highly recommend checking it out when it comes out sometime later this year. It feels like it's like right around the corner with all these media appearances. I am looking forward to it. I feel like it might be that that slept on album of the year. Like that one that you could put in your top 10 and a lot of people didn't really hear it. It's like that slept on album. So talk to me in the comment section below and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.